Alright, today we're gonna talk about the Succession's PvE after the reboot. The reboot has been so amazing for Succession Rangers. I cannot speak to you about it because it is so good. I love what they've done with this class. I think it's a lot better, it's a lot more smooth, it's a lot more good feel to grind with. But today we're gonna talk about how I do it, how I make the numbers that I do make in PvE, because I quite frankly think my numbers is very good. Now, let's talk about the add-ons first. There is two ways that I'm grinding with. There's two of them actually, because I love to experiment. I love to try new ways. I love to try new add-ons, try new crystals, try new rotations, try new stuff to improve the amount of money that I make when I'm grinding. I'm not gonna spend too much time on my add-ons today. I'm not gonna spend too much. This is more of a guide for the people that play the game already and not for the brand new player. Those guides is coming later. The add-ons is set up for my playstyle. They're set as the way that I grind in this game. The charging wind is absolutely the most important one. The monster damage is huge. The critical hit damage is huge. This is almost a must-have. I think the only thing that you can really change is critical hit damage to attack speed, but I wouldn't do that. I think this one is the better one. Will of the Wind, I have two different playstyles. Some people break their fingers with this. I'm going to show you how to grind without this skill at all, because it is actually not needed. You can grind with Will of the Wind, but you have to watch out for your stamina. Down here we have the tearing arrow, which gives you attack speed, and it gives minus DP for the target. Minus DP is so important. I do not always Will of the Wind to target, and if I do not, I need the minus DP somewhere else. And that is going to be Tearing Arrow. Tearing Arrow is super important also because in PvP one-on-one to defend your spot, you can still lower the DP of the enemy, as you are not going to Will of the Wind the enemy in that situation. Penetrating Wind, I have critical hit rate, because critical hit rate is super important when it comes to descending current mostly, and shotguns. And shotgun is usually coming right after Penetrating Wind, so that is why I have it here. The down attack, again, it's just a little bit of extra damage. Doesn't really matter too much on this skill, I would say. Blasting Gust, attack speed, and move speed is more just to make sure you have some kind of attack speed up constantly as you're spamming Blasting Gust all the time. Move speed, it's great to have to move between packs so you got there faster, because we do not have any dashes. So the move speed is awesome to have. The ultimate Blasting Gust add-ons down here with the monster damage on it and attack speed is a little bit... I don't really know, but the reason why I have it is because I usually use it whenever I don't use any of these skills up here. I think this depends on your clear speed, on your AP, and all that kind of stuff, how fast you clear the stuff that you're grinding, and so on and so on. But for me, this one fits very good, because whenever I use it, it means I descend in current, then I use the ultimate Blasting Gust, and the pack is usually dead. And that means I do not get any of the buffs up here, right? So that is my add-ons. But for you guys that is breaking your fingers with Will of the Wind, I have a solution for you, because you don't actually need this skill. I have been grinding for the last 2 weeks without using Will of the Wind. I have it completely locked. And the reason why you could do this is because you're going to change this add-on here, and then you're going to take the Prime Nature's Tremble, because it already has minus DP on it, and then you're going to stack it with another minus DP on it. And then anything else in here, really, I don't think it really matters too much. For now, I'm just going to take critical hit rate. Doesn't really matter. The minus DP is the important factor here. Alright, so today we're going to focus on the reboot, right? The reboot didn't really change much in my skill rotation. My skill rotations is pretty much still the same. If you want to use a Razor Wind in PvE, you're going to use it as a defensive tool, not as a DPS tool. Evasive Landing Shot is a very important skill when it comes to grinding. Right here, if you look at it, you might be thinking, this is not grinding. What do you mean? This is like an escape in PvP. It is, but it's not. It's very good in PvE, and it's not for damage. It's not for anything like that. It is for repositioning, and it's for the instant cast Tearing Arrow and the instant pack-to-pack movement. You can use this skill as a movement between packs. What you're gonna do is that you shift right mouse button after you used your prime evasive explosion shot out here. What you do, basically, you go, let's say this guy here, he's a pack, right? And this guy over here, he's a pack. What you do is that you go in, you kill this pack here, right? You kill this pack, bam, and then you're gonna move to the next pack, which means you jump backwards, jump, and then shift right mouse button. You can instantly Tearing Arrow. Fully charged Tearing Arrow damage for the next pack to instantly. And even better, if you land in their back like I did here, you can instantly, this is what I do at orcs all the time, I instantly delete the elite orcs at orcs, the wizards. Alright, the next skill that I want to talk about is the Twisted Wind. Twisted Wind is like a repositioning skill you use in order to get back attacks in PvE. You use it by basically going to the side and press shift, or going backwards and press shift. Basically, I can do it backwards and instantly tearing arrow from it again. Or let's say these 4 mobs here is coming towards me, they're standing in front of me, then I can like go to the side, turn to the side to them a little bit, and then press shift and then to the side. I'm going straight behind them, and then you can instantly tearing arrow them in the back right here and get back attacks off. It is literally a repositioning skill that you can use. You can use it backwards and you can use it sideways, but you cannot use it forwardly. The next skill that I want to talk about is the bypassing wind. Bypassing wind is extremely important for your grinding. The things that it does is that it allows you to instant cast steering arrow after certain skills. One of them is the evasive landing shot, where you use your evasive explosion shot in order to go backwards, and then you use the evasive landing shot to jump even further back with a shift right mouse button in the air, and then you can instantly cast tearing arrow just like this here. Bam, instantly tearing arrow, full combo, back attacks, all that kind of stuff. Now what you can also do is that you can use it after blasting gust. This is why we can turn in PvP very fast and come out with a full burst very quickly if the enemy is doubting if they want to chase us or not. And it is also why we can instantly cast tearing arrow in the back of enemies when we are grinding. So let's pretend this guy here, he is a pack of mobs. I go in there with a blasting gust, I go around to his back, and when I get to his back, I right click while I am also left clicking. That means I'm left clicking for the blasting gust to go off, and then I right click at the same time, which is gonna proc my bypassing wind, which is gonna allow me to insta cast tearing arrow in his back when I get to about this position right here. So I go in here, blasting gust, right click, instantly tearing arrow, full combo in the back with back attacks. So this skill is absolutely important. It is the most important. You can do it like here, out here, you can do it right here, instantly cast tearing arrow, full combo. You can do it backwardsly whenever, also in PvP if you're getting chased, you can also do it here, instantly cast full charge tearing arrow. You cannot do it forwardly. If you try to do it forwardly, you're just gonna jump. The next skill that I want to talk about after the bypassing wind is the prime charging wind. This skill is super good even in PvE now, because our split damage has been fixed a lot, and that means if you have crit on, crit chance, crit anything, which is usually from the add-ons, but it can also come from bypassing the wind. Bypassing the wind increases this damage of the shotgun because it gives critical hit chance. The same with an add-on, and that's why I have the add-ons like I have. And then this buff here, it stacks with the add-on, so that means your shotgun is gonna do even more damage. And what would a guide be without the talk about tearing arrow? Tearing arrow is probably our most important skill. It's the best continuous damage skill that we got. You can always use, if you don't know what to use in it as your next skill whenever you're grinding, you can always use a tearing arrow. Tearing arrow is a solid choice every single fucking time. It does a lot of damage, even on cooldown. Use a tearing arrow. If you don't know what to do, use a tearing arrow. Tearing arrow is your bread and butter whenever you're grinding, or PvP for the matter. It is insanely strong. Down here, let's go down to the blasting gust. Blasting gust is like it always been. It's super important, but it doesn't really do a shit ton of damage. What you're gonna use it for is mostly getting from pack to pack. You can use it a lot if you have your Will of the Wind under control. If you don't use it too much, you're not using your stamina too much, you're gonna use a lot of stamina on blasting gust because it's hella fun. Prime ultimate blasting gust is still like a hard nuke hitter. They give this ability down attack modifier on it, which is really good. It does a lot of damage to down attack mobs. It's still not that it's not like a one-shot mechanic, but it covers a huge area, and that's why it's good. It covers a lot more. So let's say there's 10 mobs around here, right? If you use a tearing arrow and there's a mob here and there's a mob here, if you use a tearing arrow here, you might not hit the mob over here, so the prime ultimate blasting gust is the better solution in that case, because it covers a much larger area. Will of the Wind is kind of, if you like to use it, you can certainly use it. It does a lot of damage, especially in knockdown targets. The prime penetrating wind is good like an extra damage. What you should use it for is in the combo with your, after your tearing arrow, you should cancel the tearing arrow with your penetrating wind and then shotgun after it. And shotgun, it kind of looks like this here. Tearing arrow, shift right click, and then spacebar in order to shotgun is the main combo. You proc everything, including your bypassing wind, so you can get that buff as well, the crit damage buff for your shotgun. You proc a lot of add-ons, as I have set my add-ons up at the moment. You see it, all of them is here, all the big ones is here. The crit damage, the monster damage, the down attack, the critical hit, all of it, all the good stuff is procced in this combo. That is the main purpose of your grinding, is to use that combo. The next skill that we need to talk about is the Prime Descending Current. Prime Descending Current is a very good skill to pull stuff. And if all the mobs is too spread out, if they're insanely spread out, you can use it as well, because the damage on it is quite frankly good. So your Prime Descending Current is absolutely one of your most important skills in PvE and in lower PvE as well. This skill one-shots whenever you're a new ranger trying to grind skill points. This is your best friend. The awakening skills, the Nature's Trample and Regeneration, both got buffed in the rework. They do more damage, they have lower cooldown, they have the same cooldown now, which is actually really important. Mostly I use these two skills as a finisher. I use them as a, oh shit, my combo didn't do enough damage, I can use these skills to finish them off. The Nature's Trample does have a minus DP on it by a whopping 20 minus DP for 10 seconds. And whenever I'm not using Will of the Wind, I am using this skill with an add-on on it for the minus 15 more minus DP. So, what is the rotation? The rotation, I feel like it's a lot different, because I don't feel there is a rotation, but there is not a rotation. It depends on your kill speed, it depends on the place that you're grinding, it depends on your positioning compared to the monsters that you're fighting. It depends on so many things. But I can try to tell you what I'm thinking whenever I'm grinding. I should probably get out to a grind spot. So I often get the question what kind of buffs that I'm using when I'm grinding. The church buffs. I'm also using a house buff. Usually I like to use the plus 15 AP. It depends a little bit on my crystal setup. Sometimes I use accuracy instead. If I use a lot of human damage, if I grind like Bloody Monastery. But I usually use the plus 15 AP if there's enough of them on the marketplace. Otherwise you can use the plus 9 AP. Those are just fine as well. And then I use the Caroline's Kindness. Mostly because if you gotta duel for spot, whenever you come out to a new grinding spot, you're gonna duel for it, and then you can have the critical hit damage. Another buff that I like to use is the horse buff. The one here, Wind's Roar, is plus 5 AP for an hour, which is coming from the Crocodile gear on your horse in here. If you have all of them, you can press spacebar on your horse, and it's gonna flap with the wings, give you plus 5 AP for an hour, which is really good. And of course, when it comes to grinding, usually I use Exquisitive Cron Meal, but if you struggle to survive wherever you're grinding, I recommend you to use the Simple Cron Meal instead, because it does give you the minus damage from the monsters that you're farming. And then I use a Frenzy, because Frenzy gives you a shit ton of damage against monsters, but the recovery per hit is awesome. You use this for the sustain, and then I use the Spirit Perfume for the critical hit rate, and for the mana sustain. It helps so much when you're grinding. If you don't use this, you're going to use a lot of mana potions, but this solves it completely. I use my Vel's Heart in here that I activate. Remember to use a Kutum, it helps you a lot. Let's get to the grinding part. So this is a grind spot where I am grinding a lot. Down here, the mobs are spread out a lot, so Descending Current is your best friend. There is small pack here, small pack here, and small pack up here. This packs is extremely tiny. So what you're gonna do is that you're gonna go up here. In this case, I'm gonna Descending Current here, and then I'm usually gonna kill one pack while I'm waiting for the other packs to gather up. Again, I use my jump here in order to get the back attacks. And again here, I go around the mobs, do double awakening ability to get back attack. It does a lot of damage. I jump to the other side again to get back attack. Again, keep going around the mobs to get back attacks. It doesn't matter what skills you're using, as long as you get those back attacks, you're gonna melt them. Again, then I go down here. I can use my two awakenings in my skills to jump down here behind the mobs. Again, use that mobility to your advantage. Do full combo, and the big skills go around the mobs again to get back attacks on the targets that you're fighting. Use as many skills that you can that does as much damage as possible. And then whenever you're done with this skill, I know that I want to go behind me here, which is over here. I do this little jump here in order to go over here. Instantly jump to get more instantly cast healing arrows, to do back attacks. You can see here, I go up to the next pack, I jump right to the back for the back attacks. And if I know myself correctly, I go here, yeah, one dash to the back to get more back attacks off, jumping straight to the next pack. I'm using the back attack here and the prime ultimate blasting gust because there's mob further down behind that I want to hit too. Tearing arrow would not have hit those mobs in the back, so I use the prime ultimate blasting gust instead. I keep going to the back again, jumping right to the next pack using the evasive landing shot for that, getting the back attacks off again after the instant tearing arrow because of the evasive landing shot, going to the next pack, rushing right in there, jumping to the back again for the back attacks, full combo, and the pack is basically dead. Going straight to the next pack, right behind them, tearing arrow, penetrating wind, and shotgun again, and rinse repeat next pack to the back of them, get the back attacks, and once more I use my awakening skills because that will finish them off. I go to the next pack again. Here I fail actually. I didn't get to the back, but they still died in one combo. Jumping straight to the back, tried to go behind them there with the evasive landing shot. Didn't quite frankly work for me, but it still worked out quite decently. But this is the result. I have a few mobs left that I didn't kill because I failed that combo. Again here, I'm trying to go all the way to the back to get all of the hits in at the same time. They're very spread out, so I'm using the prime ultimate blasting gust because it has a much larger area of you hitting the mobs. Star's End. The reason why I want to show you Star's End is because it's still a home for rangers. Now, I take in awesome accessories, so I have 262 AP. This is usually more of where people start to grind at Star's End. I could take off even more and probably still do decent here because our new down attack modifiers and back attack modifiers helps us a lot when we are grinding. The thing about Star's End is that they are very spread out. So the combo that I showed you at Bloody Monastery, where you go in behind and then shift, then right click to instantly cast getting a tearing arrow off, is not gonna be as efficient here. You need to gather the mobs first. So whenever the mobs is very spread out, you gather the mobs, jump to the side, to the back of them, get the back attacks off, and then do a full combo. Like here, I'm just gonna jump to the side, jump behind them. Oh my god, they hurt. And then get back attacks on them, full combo from their back rather than from their front. It's so important when it comes to the damage that you're doing. Again, go to the next, always goes to the crystals because they give you down attack modifiers. Get to the crystal, make them come behind and in front of you, jump behind them, get the back attack modifiers, use your 2 awakening skills whenever they are knocked down like this, and then rinse repeat basically. You pull the mobs and then get behind them and use the back attack modifier. It's so good. I jump behind them, get back attack, full combo again. Use your 2 awakening skills here as it does enough damage. As the last thing here, can I go even lower? If I take this one on, maybe. Can I do that? Can I take this one on? I mean off. Take this one off and then maybe equip a ring. 234 AP. That's a lot lower AP than you should have when you're grinding here. Let's try without a crystal on even. How do I combo these mobs without a crystal on with 230 AP? This is going to be interesting. I've never had this low AP here before. Again, I gather up the mobs. There's not too many here. I jump to the other side, full combo them here. I do not do a lot of damage to them. If I do 2 awakening skills here, I can again jump to the back for the, again, back attacks. They are still not dead, but again, I just jump to the back and do it once more. And then instead of using the tearing arrow combo twice in a row, you should probably use, the second time you jump to the back, you should probably use the prime ultimate blasting gust like here. I do it all again. Didn't even kill the crystal. The blasting gust here is amazing. The prime ultimate blasting gust and then awakening to finish them off. It actually, you can grind here with this AP. That's insane, dude. I didn't know that. I'm gonna continue. Gonna try one more pack with this AP on before I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna wait for them to come around here, get in closer, and then again I'm gonna jump to the back of them, get that back attack modifier. Here they are a little bit spread out, so I'm using my prime ultimate blasting gust, and they are basically dead. The group is dead that I pulled, right? This is actually insane. So that's what you're gonna do. You should focus on getting back attacks, and getting more back attacks. If the mobs is very spread out where you're grinding, you use your descending current to pull them, and then you go and jump to use the new skills to jump to the back of them and get back attacks. if you are grinding in places with a lot of more packed mobs, you can use the new flow, the bypassing wind, in order to blasting gust in behind them, and then instant cast Tearing Arrow in their back, which is even faster than waiting for them to group up. If you have any question about the PvE of a Succession Ranger, I'm happy to answer all of your questions, either in the comments, on my Discord, or on my Twitch whenever I'm streaming, which I do almost every day. I am gonna find another Moonsplit nail in about a minute from now on. I have a feeling. It's just a stomach feeling I got. About a minute. Dude, I told you.